thanks, Jonathan, so much for having me today. I'm really excited to share with you my love and passion for ChatGPT. And like Jonathan said, I want this to be as interactive as possible. I know there's a lot of you and only one of me, so I'll do some temp checks with Jonathan and Carla, who are monitoring the chat for me. So I want to make sure that it's interactive as much as possible. And then at the end, we're going to have some impromptu time to dive into ChatGPT and have some fun. So bear with me as we get through kind of the weeds of what you need to know before we jump in and start typing away. So this is about us. This is some of my incredible team. E Squared Marketing was actually born because of my kids. Both their names start with the letter E. I was a corporate marketing gal, and I had my beautiful babies, and I was in this crossroads between, am I going to be this working mom or this stay-at-home mom? And I felt pretty strongly that I could do both. And so E Squared was born. 80% of my team are working moms, and 100% of my team are working women. Fun fact, we've never had a man apply. Would love to. I think we slightly terrify them because it's a lot of women in one room. But the beauty and what brings us all together is we're really passionate about who we serve and what we do. And we love digital marketing. It's an area that has grown tremendously, and we just find a lot of passion and joy in what we do. And here are some of our incredible clients. I know Firm Foundation's in the room, so shout out to them. And so we really do care for these clients, and we just try to bring a humanization to a brand or a nonprofit. So what can we do to tell your story, get more awareness, and all of your consumers and all your people are online. And so this is a great opportunity for you to just connect. And so that's really our bread and butter, are all digital marketing services, social media management, creating content. We also pride ourselves in taking your engagement a step further. So women on our team, all they do is respond to comments and inquiries and requests. And so it's a real human touch, human connection, which is such a beautiful thing in this digital age. So yeah, that's a little bit about who we are. And obviously we use a lot of ChatGPT in our business. We've really been a pioneer of this in the agency world. And so I'm asked a lot to talk about it, about our experience. And so I don't work for ChatGPT, but we use the technology a lot. So I'm excited to share a little bit about that. But this is about me. There's my beautiful children and my amazing husband. Fun fact, we're both Arizona natives. I'm a third generation Arizona native. So very deep roots here. I'm a proud wife. We've been married for 12 years. Mom is by far my favorite title. My husband knows this. These kids are just fantastic. They're so fun. And I'm just proud to be a marketing expert and a business owner. And if you haven't caught on, I'm definitely passionate about working moms. So I try to help bridge the gap and be an advocate for women that are juggling that life. And then I love to hike. How can you not? I'm in Arizona. There's lots of amazing hikes, lots of fun things and places to do. So that's a little bit about me. All right, let's dive in. What is ChatGPT? This is a question that I get a lot, and it's not really a creative definition, I wouldn't say. I think I would come up with a different name than ChatGPT, but it's all right. I'm not in charge. But ChatGPT stands for Chat Generative Pre-Training Transformer. So I don't know if you can say that fast 3 times. It's a lot, but ultimately it's an AI-powered chat box designed to help users with various tasks, from answering questions to generating creative content. When this first hit the market, it was mind-blowing, right? Like, this is at our fingertips. It responds so fast. It's pretty incredible. And it's come a long way as they've done some updates throughout its journey so far. So we're going to dive into that. And I promise you, this is not such a scary land. A lot of people have not even attempted to try it. You can't break it. So there's a lot of different ways, and I'm going to challenge you today to get creative and use this technology. So first, we got to go through some do's and don'ts for sure with this technology. One is absolutely use this as a tool for inspiration. There is endless responses that you can get, which I will show you today, and get creative. Remember, have a conversation with ChatGPT. This is not a Google search. I know our brains are wired to just ask a question and get a result, but that's the beauty of ChatGPT, is you can take it a step further and have some interaction with it. Okay, thanks for these responses, but I want to go deeper, or I want to go in this direction. So definitely want to give you those tools today on how to get deeper and how to be intentional about the responses. And it's really whatever you put in is what you're going to get out. So if you're not getting the answers that you want, you are most likely the problem. You're just not giving the right prompts to it. So don't worry, we're going to teach you how to do that as we go today. And then, of course, always review any company policies. If you don't have a company policy for your nonprofit, I highly encourage you to do so. Fun fact, you can ask ChatGPT to put together this policy for you so you have the outline. But that was one of the first things I did is I want my team to use this technology, but there has to be perimeters around it. So highly encourage you. Happy to share mine too, Jonathan. I'll share my policy with this presentation just so you guys can have some kind of, guidance on what you should include in it. And do not, here's our do nots. One, don't trust everything ChatGPT creates. Remember, it's pulling from the internet. So not everything is true online. I'm sure you know that. So just be cautious with that. It still needs a human touch. There's still, I'm sure you've seen posts out there. It's like, it's a great day to insert, comment here, insert brand here. Those are all usually ChatGPT generated, and it just didn't get that human eye that it needed to. But also have the mindset that technology is not replacing any team member anytime soon. There's been a lot of fear of this replacing people. I don't see that in the future. I got a great example of this. So when Photoshop came out, all the photographers were like, "Oh no, Photoshop's going to replace us, right? They're not going to need us." And guess what happened? Photoshop is now an incredible tool for photographers. So the photographers that use that type of technology are kind of leveling up, right? They're ahead of other photographers that didn't use that technology when it first came out. So that's what I see similar with ChatGPT. It's not going away. It's a tool that could be used by anybody in your organization. So just make sure that you're embracing it and getting into it right away. All right, ChatGPT has a lot to learn. This is a picture of my daughter. I thought a baby photo makes the most sense because that's basically where we're at. ChatGPT is in its infancy stage of consumer interaction. So, just a few things that caveats and reminders as you dive into it. One, always check for accuracy and tone. We are going to dive into tone today on the call because I want to make sure you know how to ask what type of tone for your responses. And Google and other search engines may be able to tell the difference between a human and AI generated content. So if you're pulling some content for SEO or for website copy, just make sure that you're putting that extra little touch of you to it because AI is reading and looking very different than what a human would write. Just use this more as like an outline for you and then make your personal touches. And take time to review and edit everything that is produced. It is not flawless. So just make sure that is part of your process. Don't expect to just download it, copy and paste and send. Make sure you're spending that extra time to ensure that it's accurate. And those are all my do's and do nots so far for you. Nothing else that's crazy. So one thing that a lot of people are interested to find is AI is all around you. It's been around you for years. This is really the first interactive tool directly with consumer, but these are all different apps that use AI. So YouTube suggests videos. It's been doing that for you guys for years. Gmail finishes your sentences, right? That's all AI. Facebook targets you with ads. That's us. Sorry about that, but we are targeting you. Spotify loves, they learn the music that you love. I mean, the list goes on and on. Amazon predicts your next purchases. Zoom automatically transcribes your recorded meetings. They're all AI. And so if you look at all the apps on your phone, you're going to realize that this tool has been around for a very long time. And it's an incredible asset to a lot of different businesses. And now it's available for you, which is really cool. Okay, now this is a picture of the application landscape for AI, and it is growing. There is an AI tool pretty much for almost everything. And so there's different categories here. This graphic is probably 2 months old, so it's probably doubled in size since then, which is pretty crazy. But there's all these different apps for text, for video, for images, speech, 3D renderings, you name it. There is some sort of technology out there for it. So there's a lot of really cool things that you could do with AI outside of ChatGPT. Obviously, today I'm focusing just on that platform, but I wanted you to know the landscape's much bigger than just that one little vertical. There's a lot of different tools out there. And this next slide I'm going to show you actually shares some of those tools that I want to make sure you guys are aware of. And so again, this is in the presentation to make sure that you guys look at it, but these are some really cool nonprofit AI tools that could be beneficial for you guys outside of ChatGPT. So Salesforce Einstein, it automates processes, it analyzes donor data and forecasts for fundraising opportunities. I'm sure a lot of you can raise your hand that could be a tool that you could benefit from. There's an AI virtual assistant that you could use. Again, these are just amazing ways to just get that additional support. Donor search. I played around with this one when I was making this presentation, and I really liked it. So it identifies potential donors based on wealth indicators and giving history. So again, just amazing tools here that you can use. And Google Ads. I know a lot of you take advantage of the Google Ad grants, which is incredible, but they actually have an AI tool in there to help with reach a broader audience. So there's even AI in some of the tools that you have already. So highly recommend you challenge yourself just to check out these AI tools and see if they work for you. But these are some of the top rated AI tools that are available for nonprofits. So again, just some tools and nuggets along the way to share with you. All right. What are we using AI for? So these are some of the big things that we're seeing in this space. One is it delivers the personalization and experiences modern consumers can expect, right? Humanizing. That's really what we're all about. And AI has the ability to take something and make it more personalized to you, which is pretty awesome. And it unlocks previously unimaginable creative possibilities. You may, be at just a block, and you're like, man, I don't know how else to word this for my organization. Like I say it all the time, but you're trying to make a piece of content every single day for social, and you're like, how many more times can I ask, or how do I word this? And so this just might give you a little bit more creative flair to integrate into your strategy. And so we love that. We found so many cool ideas through ChatGPT for our clients and for our business. So highly recommend just keeping that creative mindset when you're diving into the technology. And it drives efficiency for sure. It's really allowing more searchability, so less research time when you're getting prompts so much quicker. So that could be really good as far as your bottom line as well. Jonathan, any questions so far in the chat? I know I'm flying through, but I want to make sure we're able to dive into ChatGPT too.
We do have one quick question from Deborah. She says, how do I access AI for donor searches, etc.? Just Google it, what? So she's trying to figure out some 101 level stuff with
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, great question, Deborah, for sure. And that slide that I showed with some of that technology, I definitely recommend doing some research. AI is popping up left and right, so I want to make sure you're using the right tools. But those are the ones. So that slide might have actually answered that question, Jonathan, because there's so many different donor tools on there that are valid, that are validated, that we ensure that are proper. So those are where I would start for sure. But that would also be another great question for ChatGPT. So Deborah, maybe we can get to that when we start diving in.
Awesome.
Okay. Thanks, Jonathan.
Yep.
Okay, so let's start talking about some helpful tips to ensure your ChatGPT journey is a success. So this is really going to help ensure that you're getting the right answers from your questions. So there's really kind of two models when it comes to searching on ChatGPT. The first one is problem-based, right? ChatGPT can help you come up with a creative solution to complex problems, right? So it's asking a question, hey, I'm having a trouble with this. But there's also the use case model, which is the best way to get started with AI. And these are just quick win pilot projects with narrowly defined use cases and high probabilities of success. So that's where we're going to spend a lot of our time today, is in the use case model. But the problem-based model can certainly help, but that's definitely more of an advanced ChatGPT that I would recommend. But use case is always a great place to start. So that's where we're going to start today. So improve your responses. These are some really just quick nuggets to ensure that you're getting the right responses. One is provide context. Remember, you can have a conversation with ChatGPT. In some of the examples today, I share this. So one of them, I asked for some prompts regarding a welcome introduction to all of you. And so I gave some history in my prompt on who I'm talking to and why I'm talking to you guys. So that's important. Define the tone. And I have a cheat sheet for you regarding the tone. So we'll dive into the tone more on the next slide. But I also say set character limits. I don't know why I feel like ChatGPT is a woman. So I always say, she is a talker. She will respond very lengthy for you. So sometimes you got to give her a little perimeters. And so in the example today, I put 100 words or less, because if not, that girl can write a novel. So we just want to make sure that you're really clear on those character limits. Be very clear and specific, exactly what you're looking for, and use keywords and phrases that you want integrated into your response. That's totally fine. And again, if you don't get this right, the first prompt, guess what? It's a conversation. You can come back to and say, hey, that was a great start, but let's add more, excitement, or let's add a little bit more foundation, or let's cut the words down to 100 words. So you don't have to get it right the first time, which is really where that be open to experiment comes into play, right? So if you don't like the response, don't be like, forget it. ChatGPT is not for me. respond and say, hey, this isn't really the direction I'm wanting more of this. And so sometimes it takes 4 or 5 prompts and back and forth to get the answer that you're looking for, and that is okay. So let's dive into some of the examples. Actually, we're going to spend some time on the tone first. So this is a tool that you guys are going to get. We created it internally, but we feel like it's a great tool for you. And so we talk about a tone combo. And then there's a line about impact and output, and then use case and an example. So friendly and professional. We want warm yet approachable, knowledgeable and competent. This could be used great for sales emails, customer service, marketing copy. And then, of course, there's an example there. And if you go down a little bit more, humorous and informal, entertaining and playful yet relaxed. This could be great for social media or blog content or even internal communications. So again, there's a lot of varieties on here. And what I want to challenge you is make sure that you're putting a tone in every single one of your response. This is a great way to avoid sounding more like a robot, because your response from ChatGPT is going to sound like a robot if you're not giving it some direction on what you want it to sound like. So every single prompt, you want to try and include a tone or a tone combo. So this will be in the presentation for you guys to play around with. There's a lot more. These are the ones that we feel like we use the most, at least for our business and our experience. Oh, you know what? There we go. Here's the tone modifiers page for you guys. So lots of great different options here for you. And so the section over on the left are the tone combos that I want to challenge you guys to use. Again, you guys will have this in your presentation. So let's see it in action. So I asked ChatGPT to put together, here's my tones, friendly and professional greeting to welcome the Venture 119 guest to our ChatGPT presentation in 100 words. So again, this would have been a lot longer if I didn't give her that description. So here is the response that we got from a friendly and professional greeting. Dear esteemed guests of Venture 119, a warm and cordial welcome to each one of you to our ChatGPT presentation. It's an absolute pleasure to have you join us on this exciting journey of exploration and innovation. Your presence signifies the spirit of collaboration and curiosity that propels us forward in the realm of AI and beyond, right? As we embark, it's like this storyline, but it's very friendly and it's very professional. So we took that same prompt and all we did was change the tones, okay? So here is another one. So this one, I put urgent and persuasive. That's the only change in this prompt, is urgent and persuasive. And so here is our response. Urgency beckons as we extend a crucial welcome to our ChatGPT presentation. Your presence is pivotal in unraveling the depths of AI's potential in this fast-paced arena. Every moment counts. Every insight shapes the trajectory of innovation, right? Together, we seize the opportunity to delve into the forefront of technology evolution. So what a difference between those two. And all it is a 2-word prompt change. And then I included this one on the bottom. So it can also, fun fact, change the language for you. So I asked for a welcome in Chinese. So if anyone can speak Chinese, this is what the response is, which I thought was really cool. And it took about 10 seconds for them to type all that up. But again, just wanted to really show the value of those prompts and how different the output is going to be based on whatever you're trying to ask it to do. Any questions on some of these examples?
We're good in the chat box right now, but everybody continue to put questions in there, or if Ashley opens it up, feel free to fire away.
Awesome. Thanks, Jonathan. So another great tool that we use ChatGPT for, that you guys can use, especially if you're a smaller crew and you don't have as the resources to hire a whole marketing team, is content creation. So I put together this prompt. I'm creating some social media content for a Christian organization. Can you please put together 10 simple social media posts that I can use, including emojis with a more playful and fun tone? So there's my cue. I'm very defined. I want 10 social media posts, right? I'm very clear on what my deliverables are. I'm also clear on who I'm serving. This is for a Christian organization. So here are some of the prompts that it immediately responded to. There are some, sing your heart out, whether in joy or sorrow. Music is a beautiful way to connect with God and express your emotions, right? So there's a lot of great ones in here. Some I might want to change out, right? Maybe adjust some of the language in it. Maybe it doesn't make sense for this organization, but you want to, update it. But this is a really great foundation, right? And this literally took 10 seconds for them to respond. But here's the kicker. You can also take it a step further. So what I did is I went on the Venture 119 website And I took this section right here about we're glad you're here. And there's a whole section about what Venture 19, what Venture 19's doing, what you guys are up to, what your vision is. And so I wanted to make this social content more personalized for Jonathan's organization. So I copy and pasted this into ChatGPT. And this is the response I got is based on the provided content. Here are 10 pieces of social content for you. So these are all very specific based on what they found from that content. So image, a serene landscape with a text overlay, right? Be courageous. Venture 119 is here to guide your nonprofit to impact. Some really cool ones here. And you can see the difference between these versus the page before. And it's just because we did a better job of giving the accurate prompts, right? We gave it more context to write about versus just, oh, it's a Christian organization. So this was really just to challenge you to give the information. Right now, ChatGPT cannot review a website. So if I typed in, please review Venture 119's website and give me 10 social media. It does not have the ability to do that yet. So I just simply copy and pasted that information from the first page and said, hey, here's some content regarding this organization. Can you please put together 10 pieces of social media content for me? So again, you copy and paste, feed that information to ChatGPT, and you're just going to get way more personalized results, which I thought was really fun to share. And Jonathan, I didn't even ask you if I could use yours, but hey, you've got 10 pieces of social content you could use.
No, I love that. What's interesting is as I've used ChatGPT a little bit, my paradigm is more use it on the research side of things. But what you're showing here now is a lot of front-facing stuff, which I think really stretches thinking about how to use it. And the social media stuff is just gold.
It is gold. And you've already worked so hard. You know what your organization stands for, what the impact is, what the mission is. You can just copy and paste all that into a text to ChatGPT, and they will totally reword it, innovate it, just enhance some of the things that you have and make it into different nuggets. Why recreate the wheel, right? You've got the foundation of your organization. Use that to your advantage. And so again, if you're just typing in, I need 10 social posts, the responses are just very different than you spending a little bit more time and educating ChatGPT on what you're needing. Again, you're just going to get way better results that way. Yeah, that's great. So I get a question a lot. Other prompt ideas. All right, great. Social media, your research. What else can I use ChatGPT for? And so here's a list of some of the things that we've used it for that I recommend you guys use it for. So creating donor segments. This is a really cool one that you could do. It's a prompt that you can encourage, then they'll do a whole breakdown for you as far as donor segments. Writing a personalized appeal. Again, tell that story of what this appeal is for, and it'll create something for you and send it right back to you. Managing volunteers. This is a great one. Onboarding materials, thank you letters, anything internal. I know, Jonathan, you mentioned that we needed a form. We moved offices and we gave team members a key. And so I needed a key form, right? And so I had ChatGPT create it. E-Squared Marketing has a new office. I need a form for my team members to sign to ensure that they got a copy of the key and what those protocols are. And so they created it for you. Generating reports and statistics. This is huge as well. You can feed information to ChatGPT and have it create a report for you or find statistics for you. It's pretty incredible how quickly these can respond. And then creating or refreshing your vision and mission statement. Sometimes these can get a little stale, or maybe you're like, man, I just can't put my finger on it, but it's not where it needs to be. You can upload, copy and paste what your current vision is and say, hey, can you give me 5 more examples of what a good vision is that aligns with this? Or what are some other words to describe this? Again, having that conversation back and forth, and then exploring new ideas, ways to creatively fundraise, event themes. These are all things, it's almost just like a sounding board for you. Hey, we're having a cowboy themed, dinner party. What are some fun, creative theme ideas that we can put on the invite? So they can pump some out for you. And you may say, oh, can you send me 10 more or send me 5 more? Or I like the word, boots, whatever. You can really have that dialogue back and forth, and it'll just keep sharing information and sharing answers for you. So hopefully this helps you guys. There's a lot of different prompts that you guys can do, but these are some creative ones that I think you can get a lot of value from ChatGPT. And one thing I just wanted to preface too, all of these can be done on the free account. So with the example, once we get interaction on the ChatGPT, it's like $20 a month for the paid one, but you will find a lot of value in just the free one as well. So again, I want to encourage you to feel comfortable on ChatGPT before you invest. But all of these can be done at that free price point. You don't need to increase that to get these exposures.
Ashley, speaking of that, we've got another 101 level question, which is probably on a lot of our minds. How do you access ChatGPT? Do you just Google it, and is it a website? Is it an app? All that kind of stuff. And so
Yeah.
we know it's sort of all that, but how would you direct people?
Yeah, so we are going to go through that, and I will show you the exact website to go to. And there is an app. Now, I will say there are some competitors out there that try to label themselves as ChatGPT. So I want to make sure you have the correct domain for ChatGPT exactly. Because again, you might see an ad and you'll be like, oh, it looks like ChatGPT, and you go to it and it's a competitor. There's a lot popping up out there. So I will make sure that you have access to it. I use the web version and I use the app version, but it's super easy to access. So, and you just use a username and password. What I love about it is there are no ads. So it's very, very clean once you get into it. It's not like a Google search, but great question. So I'll make sure you guys have those details. Okay, time to explore. So let me get out of this. I want you guys to start thinking about what you would like for me to search. And I might call on some people. Jonathan, I might call on you too. Let me see. Are you guys seeing that?
Yes, we sure
Okay,
are.
good.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So here is the website for those of you that are asking. So it's chat.openai.com. And it's very simple to log in. Again, username and password, but look how clean it is, right? It's very organized. And fun fact, over on the left, all of your searches are saved. So if you're wanting to go back to it or dive into it more, you certainly can. There's a lot of different things we can do. So I want to start with just a simple prompt. So let's see, we're going to say, I would like 5 social media posts created, thanking the guests of our ChatGPT presentation for joining us. Please include hashtags and emojis. And create it in a fun and exciting tone. Okay, so I've pretty descriptive, right? I know I want 5. This is what I want it for. And so I'm going to hit submit, and literally within seconds, she's working, right? Look at this. She's already got lots of them and lots of emojis, lots of different things. So huge thanks today for our guests for joining us. Look at hands up, prayer hands, love it. There's a lot of different things that it'll pump out, but look how quick that was. I got 5 of them. And so let's say I want, 5 more. Can you create 5 more? She's going to say certainly. That's one of her favorite words, is certainly. And here's 5 more that she's pumping out for us. Let's say we want to change ChatGPT. Maybe it's like, no, let's replace ChatGPT with social media. Maybe it was like, whoops, you know what? I want to thank you guys for the social media presentation. Maybe not the ChatGPT. You can pump that out, and guess what? Here you go. She just changed all of it. Instead of it saying joining us for ChatGPT, it says social media presentation today. So again, it's really back and forth, super easy. Down here, there's a lot of different cues that you can do. One is copy. So this is where you can copy and paste it and share it with somebody, add it to, a Word document, whatever you need. And then there's also a regenerate. So instead of, you don't have to respond, hey, this isn't the right prompt. You can click on this and it will create some additional options for you here. So there's a lot of different things that you can do. And here it goes. She's still working hard. I mean, look how quickly, I can't even type that fast. There's so many things that we could do. And so, yeah, and it wants feedback. Was this response better or worse? I'm going to say better. Okay, great. So now it's just documented that that's a better response. So these are some of the different ways that you can use it, but I'd love to get into this. So who has a good example of what they want to search for on ChatGPT?
So I wanted to see, would like statistics be something that you would want to search for here?
Absolutely. What statistic would you like to know, Lauren?
So let's do hunger statistics in Arizona.
Okay, let's see. Can you share with me the hunger statistics in Arizona. Okay. Now, they always put a date in here. So this says as of January. So here we go. Food insecurity rate, child food security, senior hunger, emergency food assistance. It's all in here, right? And it talks about, I recommend consulting with recent reports and studies for the organizations such as Feeding America, United States Department of Agriculture. I mean, it pumps out a lot of information for you. You can also ask it, what are the sources of these? So it can tell you where it's pulling this information as well. But I feel like that was pretty fast, Lauren. So we've got, 13.5% according to Feeding America. This means that approximately 1 in 7 Arizonans struggles with access to adequate food. And so you can even take this and say, can you create a story about the statistics above? Right? So now we can go another level. Title, Nourishing Hope, a tale of resilience in Arizona. Look at this. She just made an entire story for you about hunger in Arizona based on that information. In the quiet corners of Tucson, nestle against the backdrops of majestic mountains. Right? I mean, it's pretty deep. You can also say, can you create 5 social media posts with those statistics? Again, it's a conversation. So now, Lauren, we just took all you wanted statistics, and now we've got a story you could share that could potentially make a great blog. And now we've got all these social posts that you could use that share that information that we just found. But again, I want to make sure you validate it. And you're like, yeah, that's actually the same statistic. Or, maybe the 13.5% isn't accurate on your end. You're using a different report. You can educate ChatGPT and say, hey, my findings was it was actually 19%, not 13.5%. Can you change that in the storyline? And it'll change all of this to reflect that new amount. So you can educate it too. It's not like that's the right answer all the time. Does that help, Lauren?
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much.
So helpful. Okay, great. Who else? Heather, I see you shaking your head. Do you have any, you're saying yes. Any other ideas? What do you want me to search for you?
No, I'm shaking my head yes because of how you've been utilizing it. But I do know there are different people with different levels of experience out there that are loving this. They're just saying that in the chat, and some that have had other use. So feel free to speak up if those of you want to add in or ask Ashley to do some work for you.
Ashley, can you just have it write a basic thank you for a recent donation that's been made to my nonprofit?
Yes. I would like you to create a thank you for a donation to a local nonprofit. Please. I always say please, just in case. Please make it heartfelt and authentic. I would like 100 words or less. Again, she will go wordy. So I always try to make it a little, and you can make it even shorter. And so here we go. I think it's pretty, your generosity shines. And if you notice on the left, it automatically creates a new bubble for you, and it says gratitude for donation. So it sources it for you and saves it for you too. Your generosity shines a light of hope upon our community. With profound gratitude, we thank you for your recent donation to nonprofit name. So this is where nonprofits can get in trouble, because if you copy this and you send it and you don't put nonprofit name, that's where people are like, we can tell it's ChatGPT. Your support fuels our mission, empowering us to make meaningful change and touch countless lives. It's through your kindness that we can continue our vital work, striving to uplift those in need and build a brighter tomorrow together. Your belief is our cause, inspires us every day, reminding us of the power of compassion and solidarity. Thank you for standing with us as we journey towards a more compassionate, inclusive world. How beautiful is that, Jonathan?
Yeah, I love that. And oftentimes, right, if I'm using ChatGPT again to create some content, I very rarely cut and paste it and take it as is. For me, I would look at something like this and say, okay, what fits us? What doesn't fit us? How can I adjust this even a little bit? But it gets the thought process going and gives you some great stuff to start with as a foundation.
100%. You may not want this whole thing. That's okay. You can copy and paste it and change it around. And that's the beauty of it, right? Let's see. Can you create a checklist for volunteers for a nonprofit? Maybe we don't know where to start, right? But you want to have some sort of checklist. I think this is pretty cool. Again, you might have to add more elements to it. It's like, oh, you need to wash your hands, you need to sign this waiver. Everybody has their own rules, but these are some things that you may not even know of. Maybe it's understand the mission. I think that's great. People should know what your mission is before they walk in the door. Read policies and procedures, schedule before volunteering, the location and directions, attire, right? If you're really in the back end of, a food donation bank, you got to have closed-toed shoes. So it's really cool, the things that it can pop out for you. And look at this. Look how long. I told you she's very wordy. During volunteering, after volunteering, ongoing. So this, you can copy and paste this and then make it your own and add things to it, delete things that aren't relevant. But these are just some of the great things. Again, it's not just social and creative. It could just be foundational pieces that your organization needs that you just may have not gotten to yet.
Yeah,
Roosevelt,
this is,
go ahead.
yeah, so great. Excuse me. I just wanted to chime in with a great question from Susan here. Ashley, are there any legal implications to using AI generated info for your website or printed material?
Great question. So there's a lot of discussion about this right now. So as of right now, anything that ChatGPT pumps out, you have the rights to use. However, I would encourage you to challenge it and make sure you know where it's coming from. So back to Lauren's example here, it made it clear that this content came from certain sources. So that is where you want to make sure it's valid. However, ChatGPT has come out that if you prompt ChatGPT to write a book for you, it is your book. It is your ownership of that book. So that's what makes it a little bit different. So that was the case study about it. But again, I want to make sure you validate it. So Lauren, you may say, yes, I definitely know what this organization is right here. I know Feeding America. I know their validity of it. You can go to their website and see that statistic. Great. You feel comfortable about it. You can move forward. So I'm really big, especially if some people are sourcing ChatGPT. That's not a bad thing. Again, that's something that you could do, but just make sure you're validating it and ensuring it's accurate. There are several companies that don't allow their organizations to use ChatGPT. It's still very unknown territory for sure. But I would say the source is still as valid as Google, right? People are still Googling stuff. And again, you can't believe everything that you read on there. So yeah, just making sure you're checking the details, but according to ChatGPT, it is yours and yours to use and yours to own.
Great. Ashley, Luke commented on something and just wanted to share this as well. He said, I've used ChatGPT quite a bit. One thing I highly recommend is keeping your chats singular in the sense of using one chat for social, one chat for emails, etc., so that you can develop your own tone and language of how you write. Any comments on that?
Yes, absolutely. So if you're educating ChatGPT in one channel, Venture 119, it's a Christian organization. This is how they help business owners. This is the tone we like. You can then ask prompts over and over in that conversation. It's like, hey, we're back for more content for Venture 119. I need this. But maybe I have a different channel for E-squared marketing. Our tone is more fun and flavorful. We definitely like to get a little bit more creative, think outside the box. And maybe I put my tones are more fun and exciting, and I'm not necessarily just Christian focused. So then if I need content for E-squared, I already have those parameters set up. And so absolutely. And you can rename these topics over here, and you can say, okay, this one's for E-squared marketing. And so it's like, okay, great. I know I'm working on some assets for E-squared marketing. And so I'm going to come in here and they know exactly who E-squared marketing is. And again, that's the education piece. So that's a great idea. And you can go back and forth. You can go refer back to conversations that you've had with ChatGPT. That's a great way to organize it.
Awesome. And then Roosevelt, you've got a hand up, I think. I think that's a Zoom sign for a question from you. So if so, fire away.
Just a quick question. Are you able to run, say, an analysis of the fundraising trends or average donor gift trends over, say, the last 5 years for a specific category? Say something like, what's the average donor gift trend over the last 5 years for camps or a school or a specific market category?
We're going to find out, Roosevelt. So what is the average donor trends in the last 5 years for education? So here, I don't have real-time access. She doesn't fake it till she makes it, which is great, right? She'll tell you straight up if she doesn't know. So she doesn't have that information. But to get the most accurate and updated information on donor trends in education, I recommend consulting recent reports and studies published by organizations such as National Center for Education Statistics, the Council for Advancement of Supportive Education. So she doesn't have a correct answer for you, but she's going to give you some tools to get you on your way to make sure that you do get the answers. Yeah, great question. Again, you can't break it, right? She'll tell you, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that. Okay, great. Are there some tools that you can lead me to getting that information? Again, there's a lot of different ways that you can use it, but at least she's giving you some tools to walk away with. I'd love to do a few more prompts. Anybody else have a dying question they want to ask ChatGPT? Amy, I'm going to pick on you because I see you. I'm just picking on people I know because then they can't be mad at me. Amy Carney, tell me, what should we ask ChatGPT?
Oh, that's so funny. I'm sitting here playing with it on the side. I use it already. So this is really great because I haven't used the tone before. And so some of the stuff does come out robotic. So I was just putting in one of my blogs and looking for social media posts. I don't know. I think I would like to find better product descriptions for my product line. And that's one thing. How would I input I would input what I already have as a product descriptor and then ask it what?
Yeah, I would say I am working on enhancing my product descriptions. Here is one that I've already created. Can you create 2 to 3 additional options that's enhancing this product? Copy, paste, send, and see what she comes up with. Yeah, that's exactly what I would recommend. Again, just feeding her more information and say, like, I want it to be more fun or more relevant or more playful or more, serious, whatever those tones are. But copying and pasting stuff in there would be great. This is also great for bios. So if we have a bio that we could copy and paste in here and say, can you refresh my bio, right? Especially when there's only so many ways that you've worked your bio. It's about you. You're like, oh, I don't know. It just feels bland. You can copy and paste it in here and it'll refresh your entire bio with all the information, but just makes it a little bit more enhanced for you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Amy.
Ashley, Luke mentions the chat 4 version and different things like that. What's your take on that? The different versions and what they offer. And of course, like you said earlier, the free one is the best place to start, and then you can go from there.
Agreed. Yeah. So I use the free one anytime I do demos, just because I want you to see what's at your fingertips right now without having to pay a dime. So ChatGPT 4 is the most current model, and it includes something called DALL-E. And DALL-E is AI for graphic design. And I have to say, it is quite fun. So for example, I uploaded a picture of my son in his baseball uniform, and he wanted to surf with the sharks. And so I uploaded this photo and I'm like, can you put this little boy in the ocean on a surfboard with sharks around him? And it popped it out. And so it was so cool. 100% you can see it is ChatGPT and AI generated. It's not meant to replace photography, but it was so much fun. So DALL-E is part of that. And so it's a little bit more enhanced as far as the features. But again, I don't want you to jump into that if you're not really comfortable with the platform to begin with. So I always recommend starting with the free one, understanding what it is. But the good thing is it's month to month. So if you wanted to just dip your toe into the ChatGPT 4 and pay the fee for the month and test it out, but highly recommend messing around with DALL-E. It's really fun. And if you have kids, your kids will really enjoy it because I would never let him ride surfboards with the sharks. This is the only place he could do it, and he loved it. So yeah, that's really the big difference. And it's super easy to go back and forth. You can do that upgrade pretty quickly on here.
Great, thank you. And then love that it doesn't try to fake it till it makes it, like you said. John Taylor comments here, I asked for help creating an agreement to serve another organization, and it gave me the warning that it was not a legal document, whatever it produced, and to check with local state guidelines. And he said, I thought that was helpful and interesting. So again, pretty clear on what it is and what it isn't.
100%. Yeah. And there's all kinds of, most of them always have disclosures or, hey, for more information, click here. It's really advanced since it's launched. And it knows what its faults are and it knows where it's not perfect either. Yeah. Great. Any other prompts I can throw in for you guys? You're a quiet group.
Roosevelt raised one that he did, but it'd be interesting to see what that is. He said he had a prompt that was something like write an impact statement for these dollar amounts, $5, $10, $20 for a summer camp appeal.
Okay. For specific donation amounts for a summer camp. Let's
Do you want do you want the summer? Do you want the amounts?
No, we can create, let's do 10,000, 5,000, 1,000, 500, and $250. Make the response fun and exciting. So it comes up with,
For
and it
like
may
$1 million, it gives you, if you do it for like $1 million, it just keeps intensifying like the wording. It's actually kind of fun.
Oh, see, look at this trailblazer benefactor. Through generous donation, you're not just sponsoring camp activities, you're igniting the flames of adventure. Like, how cool is that? Contribution enables us to expand our horizons, thrilling excursions. I mean, it's pretty cool. And there's titles, Campfire Champion. I mean, come on, how cool is that? Sunshine supporter, no matter the size, each donation brings us one step closer to creating unforgettable summer experiences for our campers. So this is a great one, you know, and then you can prompt back, let's add a $100,000 donation option. Let's see what she comes up with. Here we go. Oh, Galactic Guardian. Now we're going into space. So here you go, right? And so let's change the tone. Let's change the tone to more serious and impactful. Okay, let's see. Here we go. So not as fun, right? There's no campfire. Look at visionary. So again, you can really mess with it. And if it's like, ooh, maybe that's a little bit too fun and playful. Maybe we do need to get a little bit more serious. You can ask them to blend the two. Maybe I want it impactful, but fun. Back and forth is really the value here. If you're like, I don't like the output, really challenge yourself on what you can feed it to get that output that you want. And you can go back and forth. And that's the amazing part of this technology. And it's all free, which is really cool. That was a good one.
Ashley, can ChatGPT make recommendations for a logo, a sign, a symbol, or is it mostly just for content? So what about the visual side of it?
Yeah, so DALL-E can, ChatGPT cannot. So that's the big difference. That would be another one that I would recommend. You can also do buy credits for DALL-E. And so that could be something that I would do. We really haven't dabbled in it for logo design yet. That would be something. It's like, where are you pulling this? How are you creating it? Especially if you're looking for like a brand entity. But you can use it again for if you're wanting a surfboard with sharks. That's a great one. If you're wanting a vision, we've had some clients go on here and they're like, hey, this is the type of logo I'm looking for. We like these inspirations from DALL-E, but they wanted us to create something a little bit more advanced and a little bit more personalized to them. So again, you definitely can. That would be on the DALL-E side, not on the ChatGPT side. Great questions. Any other searches? Any other dying questions for ChatGPT? Was this helpful? Did you guys get some good takeaways and some good nuggets?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Couple other things, Ashley, coming through. Can ChatGPT, as an example, write a client testimony based on a few pieces of information? For example, this client has been homeless, depressed, has lost hope, needs help, different things like that.
Yep. Let's see. This gentleman was experiencing homelessness for, let's just make up a story, 10 years, and has found hope and confidence in his life today. He has found Jesus, which is what we all want everyone to do, right? Let's see, was able to secure a job and is now living on his own, right? Those are some key pieces, right, about this guy. So we can type it in here and here we go. There's an entire testimony that you could do. Now, obviously with testimonies, you want to make sure they're accurate. So you can always copy and paste it and send it to him and say, hey, John, wanted to see if this really envisions your story. So again, she's long-winded. So look how long this is. She's still going. very long. So you can say, let's make this 150 words or less. And his name is Mike. So now we want a different one, right? So we can, a name of the homeless shelter. And today I stand as Mike, a testament of resilience, right? So absolutely, this is a great example of something creative that you could do. And again, you can feed it whatever those little nuggets are, and it'll create something for you. And if this isn't right, you can change it. You can respond back and say, you know what, his name isn't Mike, it's Jim. You can update things as you go. But that's a great option for you to use for testimonies.
Awesome. Jeff just commented here that he uses ChatGPT to assist in blog writing, which has been a game changer for him, which of course, right, we can see how that would work. How it'd be great for blogging.
Yep. So we can do, what are top keywords to use for SEO for a homeless shelter? So again, going to what he's saying, here are tons of different keywords that are strong for SEO that now you can use to write those blogs. Okay, so let's pick one. Homeless services. Can you help me write a blog for homeless services? Boom, extending a helping hand. How our homeless services make a difference. And here's an entire blog regarding that specific topic that ranks high regarding SEO. Run this specific, vertical on nonprofits. So she's still going. There we go. Yeah, blogs are amazing. Again, Google is starting to challenge the difference between AI generated and consumer generated content. So if this was my organization, I would copy and paste this, and then I would redefine it. I would really put our personal brand and our personal touch to it. You can certainly feed it to ChatGPT, but just putting that human touch to it is extremely valuable. It's not going to take nearly as much time as it would have to write this entire blog. So just make sure that you're adding that filter of that it really does sound like you, and it sounds like your organization, but it's putting together some relevant keywords that would be great for SEO purposes on your blog based on research.
Yeah, and SEO is search engine optimization. So, right, when you're blogging, you're getting those keywords and phrases out there so that when people are searching for the topic, they'll find them more easily.
Yeah. Any other questions or prompts I could do?
I just want to share my experience. This is Carla. I just recently held a whole bunch of interviews with ministry leaders just over Zoom, and I ended up with a transcriptions of 6, 7, 8 pages long. And then I just took that, I just copied and pasted literally that transcription, put it into ChatGPT and said, can you give me a 150 word, condensed version of this? And I got like 3 versions, and I just, like you said, personalized it, but it became a piece of our gratitude report. And it was so much easier than taking notes during the interview. I had the transcription piece, first of all, but then using ChatGPT, it was just super helpful.
Oh, I love that. That's a great example, Carla. I've also had clients that if anybody does their own podcast, you can have it record the podcast, and same thing, you can upload it into ChatGPT and say, I'd like for you to come up with a 300-word bullet pointed summary that, integrates specific SEO keywords that are relevant to whatever you're doing that will recap this podcast that was done, and it'll shoot it out for you. And so it'll take exactly what you talked about in an hour-long podcast or a 30-minute podcast and make it bite-sized. It's really cool. So that's a great example, Carla, for sure.
I've also been able to, through that, ask them, like some people gave me a bunch of data or statistics. I was able to ask ChatGPT to kind of create a little, a little picture or a diagram or a spreadsheet type thing with those specific statistics, which was really helpful too. I didn't have to come up with it myself. So
yeah, that's so great. Roosevelt, I see your hand is up. What else you have for me?
GPT, can you also do charts or graphs? Can you say like, hey, analyze this and show me with a chart or a graph, or is it just in data text?
No, you can. Absolutely. So again, you have to feed it the right information. Let's see. Show me a graph showcasing. I'm trying to think if this is on the free one. I normally don't use the free one for myself. Showing 50% of people work from home and 50% work from the office. Oh, there we go. Yep. So it does not for this one, but you can for the advanced one. And then of course it'll give you some different options. So good question. I've never used it for charts. It will do like Excel breakdowns. If you're like, I want to download this information and save it on an Excel, it will put it in that format for you. Great question. But again, I say, if you have a question, ask ChatGPT. It'll tell you the answer. Like, can you do this? Again, she'll say, nope, I can't do it, but here's something that can, or yes, I can. Here's the output for you. Very cool to have those interactions. And you'll see some of the ones that we did over here. So, I mean, I've got so many prompts in here from different examples, but here's a pitch email for business that we've done. Digital marketing director was another one. So these were just, I was looking for a lead email campaigns for Google Ads suitable job title for a certain position that makes sense. Annual salary calculation was something that I had asked, like how can we be competitive in this space? What's the average salary for this type of role would be something. Valentine's Day ideas. Here's different ones that we did. Again, we're trying to think of like, you know, some signage options for a large shopping center. So it's like, what can we say regarding Valentine's? So again, there's just some different ways that we could use it. Playful social media content. This is the one that I did for you, Jonathan. So there's just a lot of, here's donor engagement strategies. This one was a good one. What are top ways to engage with donors of a nonprofit? So engaging with donors is crucial for fostering relationships. And here's a list of all the different things that you could do to engage your donors. Again, maybe not all of them fit your organization, but this prompt results happened in 15 seconds. So it's some creative elements along the way.
And of course, on the personal side, if you're looking for some Valentine's Day date ideas, you can plug that in, and I'm sure ChatGPT will offer that as well.
Now we know Jonathan's secret, Carla.
In Arizona. So I'm going to be specific. I'm going to say Arizona because it might come up with, oh, look at Sunset Jeep Tour, very Arizona. Picnic at the, I'm going to copy and paste this, Jonathan. We need to share this with everybody. Just hot air balloon ride, hiking in the Grand Canyon, dinner at a rooftop. I mean, there's a couple spa retreat. I'm in for that. You know what? I'm going to send this to my husband. I'm going to make sure.
And Ashley, I actually recently was asked by a leader if I had any ideas for gifts for another nonprofit that was opening a new center. And it was just a quick email and I didn't have time to think about it. So I went to ChatGPT, asked the question, some great answers popped up, shared it with the person. They're like, wow, those are ingenious. And I had to give credit because I didn't feel right taking credit for that. But gift ideas is a good way to use ChatGPT too.
For entrepreneurs. All right, let's see what it comes up with. I mean, there's so many cool things. So some of it doesn't have to be necessarily the output. If you're just curious like that, like I just want to do some research. This is so much easier than clicking on Google and going down all these rabbit holes of websites of like, oh, maybe they want a pen with their name on it. Oh, it's not going to come on time. Okay. Maybe they want a notebook or, I mean, look, there's 10 different options here. So yeah, it really is a fun tool. I challenge you guys to use those prompts, which I will make sure you guys get from Jonathan, and play with it and see what the output makes sense. Build different chats on the left so you can go back to them and revisit them or refresh them. Think internal forms, processes, structure, think external marketing pieces, communication pieces, social media pieces. There really is so many incredible ways to use it. And then definitely with Dolly, see if you can make some fun, creative graphics for yourself.
Yeah, another question, does the free version keep a running list of your created pieces on the left? The answer to that is yes, it does.
It does.
In fact, Ashley, you're using the free version right now. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah, I always try to when I do these types of presentations, just because I want you to see what's available right now for free. Yes. Great questions.
Another question, awesome to hear about the use connected with a podcast. What about YouTube connections for ChatGPT? Can you take a transcription from a YouTube video, pop it into ChatGPT, have it do some work, different things like that? Or just, Ashley, what's been your experience connecting this tool with YouTube?
Yes, absolutely. So you can, one of the questions is, let's say you do a video on homeless shelters in Arizona. You can say, what are the top performing videos on YouTube about homeless shelters in Arizona? So you now know what your, I don't want to say the word competition, but their viewer competition, right? You can
Sure.
see what those are. What are keywords that are trending within YouTube regarding homeless shelters in Arizona? All data and research that it can pull from for you. Yeah. And so you
Yeah.
can goes to your advantage when it comes to creating your title, creating your captions. So very, very great tool for YouTube.
Yeah, and what I mentioned too is a lot of people don't know this, but you can there is connected with YouTube videos, you can ask for a transcription of a YouTube video and it will give you that video transcribed. So you could even take the content of that video and use it to continue the discussion there or to research at an even deeper level connected with a YouTube video.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can say like, how many times was the word homeless used in this podcast, right? And so that could be a fun fact that you can share. Like, we obviously take this serious because we use the word 200 times or whatever. There's a lot of different nuggets you can use as far as research. So YouTube would be huge. Anything data driven that they can pull from the web is at your fingertips here versus, going down these rabbit holes of different websites.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, great. Any other last questions for Ashley or something that you're wondering about before we start to wrap up here? Anything else you'd like to put out there? Fire away.
And as we wrap up too, I just put my contact information on here and a QR code that goes to our website. If you guys have any questions about ChatGPT or social media, I am an open book. I'm here to help. I'm here to serve. I just love to help people and really connect with people, especially here in the community. So feel free to reach out. We'd love to connect with you and just give you another, set of eyes on something. If you need something reviewed or questions, again, we want to be able to help and serve in the community, and we're here for you.
Yeah, Ashley, I know you just mentioned a little bit about who you guys are and what you do just now and also up front. What would be the right next step for somebody if they just want to connect with you guys further? Maybe they want to just ask a couple other clarifying questions about this or just even talk about your services in general. Just email you, or what's the best next step for them?
Email is best. So my email is right on the screen for you, and you can just say, hey, I've got a question about X, and we can either do a Zoom. If you're local to Arizona, I'm happy to meet and connect with you too. There's a lot of different ways you could take advantage of that. Just quick kind of discovery call is what we like it. I always try to leave you with some nuggets. So if you're not in a place where you can afford a marketing firm, my goal is to get you to a place where you can, right? So what tools can I give you now to help you level up and encourage? We've had clients say, hey, can you take a look at my social and give me some suggestions for strategy ideas? Happy to do that. We run a lot of competitor analysis, like who are, you competing against as far as time and talent and donors, and what can you do to kind of bridge the gap, right? Messaging is another big one that we love to help with. Maybe you just don't have that really defined and delivered yet. So that's something that we could, encourage you and help reflect on that for you. We love graphic design projects. That's another passion. So sometimes you're like, oh, this flyer is just not where it's at. We need your help. So we really do have a really broad array of services trending usually on the digital side. So again, I would love to just connect with people and see what I can, what nuggets, what tips I can help you with just to encourage you to get to a place. And, we love serving nonprofits. We have nonprofit rates that we give as well, just because we want to try to help nonprofits, especially here locally. So we try to be as aggressive as possible when it comes to that support.
Awesome. And we will send out Ashley's contact info as a follow-up as well. And this is awesome. Such great information today. The thing I would say, and Ashley, I think you'd agree with me on this, is we can tend to see all this as intimidating. But don't be intimidated by it and don't be overwhelmed by it. Just try some things.
Totally.
Right? Get on the free version and try some things and see what works for you and what fits and how it can help the great work that you're already doing. And so that's what we did today. We just started trying some things. And so just encourage you to do that and just learn as you're engaging the tool. So Ashley, thank you so much for joining us today. It's just great to have you connect with our community. And again, as Ashley mentioned, reach out to her, reach out to E Squared Marketing, and see if there's some services that they might be able to help you guys with as far as helping you get to the next level. So Heather is with us from Venture 19. Heather, I wonder if you would just pray for us and wrap up our time, and then we'll let you guys head into the rest of your week.
Absolutely. Lord, we just thank you for this time today and for Ashley and just all that she shared with us. Lord, what a gift. And it's amazing to see how human minds can create things that are like AI and how it can be used in a way to bring you honor and glory. So I pray that, Lord, you would use this time to just stir ways that would enable each of these leaders to use this as a tool, as an extra way to accomplish the things that you've put on their heart to do. Lord, that they would find it's just help. It's even an answer to their prayers that they would have help in the work that they're doing. So we thank you, God, that you've given us tools like this and people like Ashley to share it with us. And we just want to give you thanks as well for the way that you lead us and direct our lives to even answer prayers that we have, that you know that's in our heart. So we pray you bless Ashley, you bless all the leaders that have been a part of this and that the time that they've invested. And we just want to be grateful in the work that we're doing and that we have an opportunity to do with you in accomplishing things that are on your heart to do. Lord, we commit all this to you and ask that you would just help us with the rest of our day, use our time wisely. And we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.